thinking about it. Oh, yes, we're live.
There we go.
There you go.
Hi, guys. It's Jen here from Australia's Capture Paranormal and Capture the Magic. Welcome to Witchy Wednesday. It's our first Witchy Wednesday live. We have our two beautiful witches with us. In the middle,
Beautiful. Nice.
Port Macquarie.
Thank you. Hi.
And on the other end, we have Hectic Hag, or Kate, from Melbourne. So you guys may have seen us in previous years doing the same sorts of lives, but around the paranormal, because we're all in the paranormal, we're all witches, we're all mediums, that sort of thing. So, but now we're going to be doing these Witchy Wednesdays, and the idea is just to spitball some ideas, put some questions out to each other, answer your questions, and just to basically show you that witches are not what Hollywood say they are. Witches can be anything, and anyone can be a witch. We don't all have the same path, and witchcraft is a very sacred and personal journey for each and every one of us. So if you're joining us live, thank you. If you're watching after the fact, thank you. If you're joining us live, please feel free to pop up any questions that you may have, and we can all put our 2 cents worth in and maybe help you along. If you're watching afterwards and you've still got questions, feel free to pop them in the comments, because we will use those questions possibly in the next one, and you can be able to answer those. So, ladies, we're going to get right into it quickly. We've got about an hour. We're both, well, all of us are sitting here sweating because it's hot where everyone is. Hey, Sarah, how are you? Sarah's saying good evening, ladies.
Hi, Sarah.
Okay, so the first question we're going to do is, what is witchcraft and what it is not? Now, I'm just going to do my little 2 seconds on that, and then I'll throw it to you guys. So witchcraft is a practice. It's not a religion. It's a very personal practice. I've just written some notes here so I don't get tongue-tied. It's about working with energy, nature, divination, deities, herbs, candles, which can be of any religion or doesn't have to have a religion. What a witch is not is we are not involved in voodoo. We are not involved in satanic worshipping. That is a whole different kettle of fish. So, guys, Sal, will go with you. You're in the middle. What's your explanation or your take on what it is?
Pretty much what you just said. It's also about knowing who you are and what you feel is right for you, as opposed to being in any branch of other religions. You've got the Christianity branch and lots of different denominations, if you like, underneath that. And witchcraft is a bit the same, because you've got the term witchcraft, but we all practice very differently. You know, they talk about being a kitchen witch or a garden witch or earth witch or whatever, but that's a very personal thing. So wherever you feel comfortable is the kind of witchcraft that you will practice.
Yeah, excellent. What about you, Kate?
So, I guess to me, look, witchcraft can be very animistic, it can be pagan, it can be all sorts of things. There's Christian witches out there. Like, it's just an umbrella term for a lot of stuff. So it does. You're right, and when you say, like, there's kitchen witches, there's this, there's that, you know, like, there's so many different varieties of witch. Like, so
titles that to categorize us.
Exactly.
You know, I mean, if I say I'm a kitchen witch, then you know that I'm into herbs and you know, that sort of stuff. I mean, that could be a garden witch as well, but I do magic food and through healing and stuff like that. But that's not all I do.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's right.
It's sort of like an umbrella term, I feel, more than anything, because, you know, as a witch, what I did 10 years ago is completely different from what I do today, right?
Yeah.
So I just say witch, and that's it across the board. That's the little
Yeah.
title I use because, you know, next week my practice might change again. You know, I've learned stuff along the way and sort of not doing the same stuff I would do years ago. It's not for me, so I change it up and I do something else. And it's, I think it's a huge umbrella term.
It's constantly changing though, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely.
100%.
Yeah. Okay. So let's talk a little bit about, and I've had this conversation with you just recently, Kate. So you watch Kate's. Okay, let's talk about white magic or white witches, black witches, and area. So, Kate, I'll throw that to you first.
We'll be on the hot seat. No. So, look, the term.
Just before you start, everything that we are saying is our own personal beliefs. So this is, all three of us could have different opinions and different beliefs. And whatever one or the other says, or all of us say, that is, I'm encouraging people to take that on board and think about it, but make your decision for yourself. Okay, so what we're saying is gospel for our personal self. It doesn't have to be gospel for you. So, sorry, go for it, Kate.
So, look, personal gnosis is a huge thing, like you say. Like, your personal journey is your personal journey.
Yep.
With the term black magic and white magic, it's a really sticky point now, because that can be rooted in racism, okay? It can be rooted in things like that. So I would ask people to maybe look at the terms that they're using. I'm not perfect. I thought black magic and white magic was a really good terms for a long time, right?
So did I.
But maybe think about, you know, more beneficial or benevolent and malevolent. You know, that's the sort of terminology that maybe we can lean into a bit more than using terms that are linked to some pretty horrible things. So
white and black is a Hollywood thing. Like, I mean, it might be a Hollywood thing, but it's been enhanced by Hollywood.
yeah, but look, I really think it's something that you have to look into personally, because there is still so many people in the world that call it black magic and white magic. Like, it's not, nobody's, I'm not going to tell someone what to do, but I prefer a different way of speaking on more, you know, malicious energies, or, you know, beneficial energies. Like, it's very different now when you start to look at where the terms for things come from. Now, I'm not a scholar. I'm just, you know, I am not the book smart chick, like, you know, but when you start to talk to people in, like, different countries and all of that, and we have the internet now, like, there's, you know, there's no excuses. We can look things up at the touch of a button, whereas 10, 15 years ago, we didn't have access. We went to a metaphysical shop and got a book, right?
Yeah.
And even then, pardon?
I went to the library and knocked one off.
Well, I mean, look, you do you, boo, right? But that's the thing. Like, we weren't immersed in knowledge, right? We had the little things that we did have, and I'm not saying that that's a cop out, and I'm not saying that that's, you know, because that lets us get away with anything now that we have the internet, right? But it's looking at where things originate from and why they originated that way, and maybe opening our minds to things that the investigating things a bit more, you know,
Yeah.
which I find, and I prefer now to try as much as possible not to use those terms anymore, because from what I can glean in my own research, and, you know, I've spoken to people about it and all of that sort of stuff, to me, it doesn't feel right anymore to use those terms. So that's just my personal idea about it. You know, if people are going to go and use that, that's totally fine. That's their thing, not mine.
What about you?
So I've actually never used the term black or white magic, and I've always said when somebody's called, "Are you a white witch?" I say, "No, I have no colour. I'm just a witch." It depends on what magic I'm using at the time. So I can you can practice hexing and dark magic if you like, or you can use the light side of magic as well. So, but I have to say, I had somebody not so long ago come up to me and say, "I'm a grey witch," and I'm like, "Does that mean you're old?" And it was like, yeah, exactly, yeah. And I'm like, "What does that mean?" And she says, "I practice all kinds of magic." I said, "That means you're a witch. Does that not just mean you're a witch?" Yeah. So why would you categorize yourself in a color when it's all witchcraft?
Yeah.
Depends on the magic you practice.
Yeah. And it depends what you want to use as your descriptors, you know?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
See, for me, this is going back years and years and years ago. The first thing was, white was good, bad. Myself, I didn't want to do bad stuff.
Yeah.
So I categorized myself as white, as a white witch.
Yep.
Until, some years later when I was like, well, hang on a minute, that doesn't, like you said, it doesn't really describe what I'm doing.
See? Yeah.
I prefer to, and I think it's just a way for people to categorize what they do and themselves. Yeah. So you're a white witch, you're good. You're a black witch, you're bad, or you do the darker side of stuff. Now, I think each of us has practiced, I guess, all different colours of magic. Myself personally, I would stick to the, like you were saying, Kate, the more positive side, the more uplifting, positive,
more
natural,
beneficial.
Yeah, what comes to me. I prefer not to do any sort of darker stuff. And when I say darker, or black, if you want to use the word,
painful.
The darker stuff to me is when you do something to harm somebody else, or you do something to gain something from yourself, for yourself, by taking it away from somebody else.
Yep.
For me, that is the darker side, the negative side. Now, when I think grey, so somewhere in the middle, I don't like doing the darker side. I prefer to stay on the lighter side. When I look in the middle, that might be a bit. I've struggled through my own emotions of making sure that I don't go to the darker areas at times. When I've been upset, angry, vulnerable, I've come under attack. Your instant reaction is,
vengeful.
Yeah, but then, and I will be completely honest. I'll put my hand up. There have been times over the past 5 years where a certain situation has made me want to go that way, but then I stop. And I think that's the difference. I stop myself and go, hang on a minute.
So you're not you're less reactionary in your practice. So no knee-jerk reactions here.
But the thing is too, it's about I stop myself, one, because I'm not the sort of person that would want to harm anybody else, even though they've hurt me. I wouldn't want to harm anyone else. But I also believe in karma, and I believe what it comes back at you. You know,
but the thing that always reminds me of is that, and then this is probably another sort of topic for a larger conversation around this, but good, write it down. But each specific witch, each individual witch has not got the same morals and ethics as the next one.
absolutely.
Right? So it comes down to personal gnosis, personal morals and ethics, right? So my morals and ethics might be different to both of yours, right? So, and that's where I find people assume that, oh, you know, I'm going to stick to the light side. I'm going to do this, you know, more beneficial magic, you know, all of that talk. But at the same time, someone comes for, let's say they come for a family member or someone does something to them, right? They have a horrible experience. They jump into spell work and they're, pow, done the thing, and they haven't thought about it. They've just done the thing, right? They are fully okay with that. They are, you know, 100%, yep, did my thing, that's fine, and they are happy with themselves. Their morals and ethics are fine with that. Everything aligns for them. Whereas there might be someone else who's like, no, I couldn't possibly. I'm just going to let the universe take it. You know, I'm just going to sit back and I'm just going to let the universe take it. So everyone's different in those respects.
In that instance, I've been in that situation more than I care to be, where someone has come for someone that is close to me. Now, I could have chosen just let the universe deal with it. I could have chosen, right, I'm this ass out and go the dark and negative side of stuff. What I chose to do was, and this is where I see my grey area, is that I chose to work the magic for that person that was being attacked. We can see it now. I chose to work protective magic on the person that was being attacked, without harm to the others that were doing the attacking. That's not going to help me. It's not going to help the person being attacked. So I put all my energy and all my magic into protecting that person from the outside forces. Now, that to me is, if you want to put a color on it, it's white and grey. It's white, white for my intention on protecting that person, but it's a little bit grey because I'm asking universe to cut the energy tie from the narc or the abuser to this certain person. So I am happy to sit in that middle spot. I'm not happy to sit to the positive side. I'm not personally happy, and I'm not personally happy to go on the darker side. And the reason I know I'm not, because I have in my earlier years did not sit well. It worked. What my intention on when I practiced this darker side, and it wasn't like a ongoing thing, it was a one-off. It worked, and it scared me because I had no idea what the hell I was doing. And I realized how potent and how strong working with intention can be. So you need to be extremely careful when you're doing intentional work like that, where you're putting that energy. So,
and the words you use with it.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. So it's really interesting. Like, I think all three of us, if we were to categorize ourselves, we would be on the lighter side, but we're happy to go on the grayer side if we need to protect either ourselves, our home, or a loved one.
I'm
See, and
just
I
on
don't
my
see
own
that as
side.
being a grey side. I don't see that as being a negative.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't, but I'm just trying to put it into that colour category because so many people
I
have come
guess,
and say, do you do black or are you grey?
yeah. So for me, it still comes down to, you know, benevolent or malevolent,
Yeah.
right? And then there is that happy medium where I'm calling it a happy medium for want of better terms, believe me, but there is that where you can float between both and you do what needs must. So
Yeah.
it's not necessarily, I think we're very quick to label forms of craft as good or bad, you know, all of that sort of stuff, but sometimes energy just is. Right. And I think that needs to be explored further because some things are just what they are.
Yeah.
Like, you know, and it's such an interesting thing because, you know, we have to label things. We're human. We label things. That's what we do, right? Because then otherwise, you know, if we don't label everything, then we don't know where we are, right? But having the being comfortable enough in your own practice to just be
Yeah.
and not sort of swaying one way or the other or whatever, and just being, I think that comes with time and effort.
Yeah. And now at this age and the experience that I've had my whole life, I'm now in that spot where I know exactly, I don't need to categorize a color. I know exactly where the boundary is. And it's about boundary that I will not, you know, sometimes you really want to step over that boundary.
But also, again, your personal morals and ethics in your craft.
Right.
And if it goes back to the ancient times when it was harm ye none and what you send out you'll get back threefold. That was the basis of my learning of magic 40 years ago.
Yeah.
So do you sort of in that sort of what comes back to your threefold, do you see that as a Wiccan belief or do you see that as a general belief?
I see that as an energetic belief.
I see it as a universal law.
Okay.
Yeah. I
So
don't see it
like
as a religious thing, but it's just a universal law that.
Interesting. Yeah. Because I always saw that as a Wiccan thing for myself, right?
Yep.
And I did the whole I'm Wiccan for a year and a day thing, and
Yeah.
oh mate,
yeah,
give it back, give it right back. Could not.
Yeah. Do I care about the consequences? You know,
my spicy brain was braining. I just it wasn't for me, and that's okay. But I found a lot of times, just being a good human, right? I'm still human, right?
Yeah, we all have our good days and our bad days.
Yeah,
absolutely,
exactly. But if we sort of think about it as we're all part of the universe, or we're all part of, source, or whatever you want to call it,
whatever.
right? It's, one ripple will affect another thing, and da 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 da.
The butterfly effect.
Not necessarily the threefold law, which is the Wiccan thing, but just maybe my little ripple might eventually turn up, somewhere else. Maybe that's the thing.
And like with everything else, if you drive fast and you get a fine, you've made that choice to drive fast.
Yeah.
You might get caught, you might not get caught, but you've made that choice.
Yeah. And I think accountability comes into that as a human and as a
absolutely.
Practitioner. So
Now we can talk about that subject all night, but we'll get
that's a whole other one.
Just Lauren, love this, ladies. Oops, I mean witches. Love you.
Hello.
Okay, so this could be another. Whew. Okay.
Oh, crikey. What do you got?
We'll start with you, Sam. When and how did your life as a witch start? Is a question I get all the time.
Right. I guess so. I started off in going to Sunday school, doing the whole church youth group thing. It just didn't
No.
sit right.
Yeah.
Like reading a book that told me that a virgin had given birth kind of made me question things right from the very beginning, you know?
Because it does not
Um,
make sense.
no. And that they could sell their daughter for, whatever. Anyway, so that kind of got me questioning at an early age. I remember in a year 9, I did an art project and I did the sun tarot card. I drew it like huge. And I think that started getting me into looking at the spiritual side. And then I started seeing spirit.
Mhm.
So then that kind of got me looking into an alternative. Hey?
That's a good kick in the ass. It gets you moving when they start coming through.
Oh, yeah. And the explanation that I was being possessed by a demon from the church group didn't quite sit right with me either.
Yeah.
Fair. That's fair. Mm-hmm.
So I kind of started looking into stuff myself, buying some books, going to the library, but I kept it hidden for quite a while. The psychic side and the seeing spirit side, I couldn't, keep that hidden really well. And then I think I came out of the broom closet at probably, I think I was 29 when I got my first tattoo that had the pentagram on it, and I went, well, that's it now, the world knows. So I think I ravaged all the books that Fiona Horn had put out, and then because lots of books came from overseas, it didn't sit right with me.
Yeah.
Being in the Southern Hemisphere, so I had to go and seek out what I felt right about it. So it's been a long journey. But yeah, it was probably the affirmation was getting the tattoo and letting everybody else know what was going on.
Yeah. What about you, Kate?
Oh, crikey. Look.
I'm getting rid of the hat. My head's
yeah,
hot.
get rid. It's hot. It's hot, babes. It's hot. I've been a spooky person my whole life, so there's that. Like I remember doing stuff as a kid. Like I used to call them mud pies, but I was making spell work. Like it's ridiculous. Anyway, and then it got to like teenage because I was seeing and hearing spirit and stuff and all the things, and it got to like late teenage years, early 20s, where I went, I've either got to sink or swim here. Like I thought there was something wrong with me. I thought, all of the things. And then I was like, right, I need to either accept what's going on and work on it, or that's that. I'll just stop it. So I went with it, ran with it, and didn't look back. So there you go. Yeah, did heaps of little things like, classes at little old shops and, read copious amount of books that I have no clue what was in anymore. Forgot more than I learned. Like, it's ridiculous. But anyway, yeah, that's pretty much it.
I remember from an extremely young age, the first time I actually physically saw spirit, and I would have been at least probably around 5. And
about 6 I was.
Yeah, same.
Scary, and I voiced that opinion to my parents because it was at night time, and it was, oh, you're just dreaming, you've had a bad dream, and I'm like,
yeah, it's all right, don't worry about it.
I still remember that feeling of like, why don't you believe me? And I think that moment, and I'm not blaming my parents, but I think that moment is what helped me shut it down for a long time, because parents didn't believe me when I told them. But I remember those, same thing, mud pies and filling up old saucepans and jars with dirt and sticks and water and
leaves.
I mean, leaves. I remember doing that from a tiny, tiny girl. And I don't know whether I told you guys. I think I told you guys. I must have been about 8, I think, 8 or 9. And I was convinced that I was going to make, from crushed flowers and water, that I was making perfume.
Of course you were.
Of course you were. And I would crush them up like a mortar and pestle.
Yeah.
And I'd put water and shake them. And, you know, because I'd then put them in my room because the flowers had all, you know, decayed, manky water. Mum was constantly throwing out little bottles.
That reminds me, I've got to check on my rose water, but anyway.
But it was things like that, and things like I've always been a stick or a rock collector or a shell collector, and you know, I go down the beach now and I'm coming home with pockets full. And
I can attest to that.
And you know, I've carried this massive piece of quartz that I dug out of the ground up from, I won't say where because you're not supposed to take anything from there, but you know,
naughty.
No, but just things like, and my favourite show, looking back now, I just like it was so evident. My favourite show was Bewitched.
Oh, and
same.
Me too.
You know, and just that belief, I always remember having that belief of that magical fairy magic as a young child. And we used to do a lot of camping and things like that. And I remember, for me, I was just in absolute bliss when we'd go into the middle of nowhere and there'd be a little creek and you know some bushland, and I'd be, you know, finding all these little hidey holes, and that was the place as a kid. Like that's where I felt safe and I felt nurtured and that sort of stuff. And the ocean for me has always been a calming, rejuvenating type of thing. So if you look at the last, you know, well, the first probably 20 years of my life, it was so evident along the way.
But hindsight's 2020, yeah. So
yeah,
we all look back and go, well, that's why I did that.
Yeah, and then I remember, you know, I was seeing spirit a couple of times throughout my younger, like under 10. I'd seen them a few times. But then it was more of a psychic thing that came through for me first. And I'd be able to tell you who was going to call or what had happened to someone. And I'd say to Mum, oh, you know, this, that, the other. She goes, no, that didn't happen. And then she gets a phone call or a knock on the door and bang, it's happened. And she's like looking at me. I quickly learned to shut that down because I quickly realised other people couldn't do that.
Well, see, at around the age of like 6 or 7, we go to school, right? And I know this sounds a bit conspiracy person-y, right? But we then are trained to be a regular little human and learn the regular little human things and do all the regular human stuff. And we're trained that that's not, don't worry about that. That's not right. Or that's weird. That's different. That's not what you should be doing. So, of course, we might put it down for a while and not pick it back up for a while. Like, because we're training to be a productive human.
Yeah, but also too, that is at the time, you know, when you want to be liked, you want to make friends.
And fit in.
You want to make friends and,
anybody else. You know, and I see that with my grandkids now, you know, and it's probably harder for them now than what it was back then because, you know, it's very different times. But I remember, you know, being at that age and wanting to have friends and didn't want people to think I was weird or different, you know, because the weird or different kids that didn't...
got isolated.
They got isolated, exactly right. So
and picked on relentlessly.
Yeah, and then that attaches to your soul, I guess. And as you're growing up, I mean, the teens are just confusing as shit anyway. And the thing you want to do is you don't want to be coming out of the broom closet, you know, in your teens, and then you get through to your late teens, and things start ramping up, and your hormones and things change, and then you realize, well, all those things, like I was talking about before, like the mud pies and the in the woods and stuff, you stop doing those.
Yeah.
And you're feeling very unbalanced, and you don't understand why, because you don't understand that that's what you need, in your life. And then around it was the age of 20, and I was, wow, like I think you were saying, Kate, it's like, well, I got to either step into it or step out of it, and I started to do it, but then there was no internet,
No.
You say that to kids now, like when I was 20, there was no internet. They're like, what?
Same.
It's about books, and like what you were saying, Sal, is that there is only a limited amount of books, so you grab them and you like the horn, and you were just like trying to soak in all that. But then as I'm reading, that doesn't sit with me. That
doesn't resonate.
Yeah. So
like when we were sort of gleaning all of our information, there was like Athena Starwoman, there was like all of the 80s and 90s stuff was like, and Australia, as far as witchcraft, is like the seventh cousin of someone who knows 5 minutes worth of stuff. Like, we are so far behind.
Yeah.
It is crazy.
Yeah, and I think it wasn't until I've had it all my life. There's been aspects throughout my whole life that were witchcraft, and I didn't acknowledge that that's what it was. Like I knew it, but I didn't acknowledge it outward, like to myself or outwardly. And then as I got older, it was just like, screw it. Like,
Same.
we've got, hang on, I've got a comment here from Dave. With spirit work and the clairs being so closely entwined to witchcraft, can or should you focus on one thing or spread the load and learn a little about everything? For me, I think dabbling into ritualistic witchy stuff is out of my depth of knowledge. How or should it be embraced? Look, Dave, I think my personal take, and the girls will give you theirs in a second, my personal take is that you should learn from anywhere that you can. Take on board what the three of us are saying. Read, speak to other people, educate yourself. And you will pick along the way what your beliefs is, what your core, and like I was going to call you hag.
That's fine. I'll take it. Fine.
Kate was saying before is that you'll pick things along the way, and you'll make it your code of ethics. That's sort of so. Look, it's hard when you don't know where to start, and my best advice for anyone starting in this sort of journey, spiritual or witchcraft, because they can be together, but then they can be separate, is to learn and soak in as much information. Also is to keep a journal, and anything that really resonates with you. I used to keep 2 journals. Anything that really resonated with me, and I was like, oh my God, like that punch in the gut of, oh my God, I feel that, I would write in one journal. And I guess that's how I created my core. Yeah, you've got yours. My core belief. And anything that I questioned and I wasn't sure about, I put in another one. Now, if I go back to those books now, things would be in very different books. So, Sal, what about you?
I like I said before, I had piles and piles of books, and I what felt right I stuck with, what didn't I cast aside. But again, like you guys, if I look back now at what I pushed aside, I may actually be doing now, and the stuff that I took on board back then, I'm not doing anymore.
Yeah.
So it is a matter of what feels right for you in the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you grow into your witchcraft.
Yeah. What about you, Kate?
I think witchcraft, we call it a path for a reason, right? Like, it's a practice. It's a
And
path,
not a
right?
straight either. It's
Exactly. Well, mine's been like up there
Yeah,
and down
ditto.
and round and
Yeah.
like, but that's the thing. You will make of it what you want to make of it.
right.
You're controlling this ship, right?
Yeah,
You get to steer yourself where you want to go.
Yeah.
And as long as it fits in with your personal morals and ethics, right? As a human, let alone a witch, right?
Yeah.
As long as you're using your discernment as best as you can, you are studying what you are drawn to, right?
Yeah,
And keeping in mind there's things that maybe are not for you or not for me. Like there's stuff that close practice as well.
yeah, what I'm drawn to, you girls are probably not drawn to.
Exactly.
Yeah, see, I can't stand the beach, but I'll go candles.
Do the beach
Look,
any day.
give me a misty bogland and I'm happy.
Yeah,
Right?
I like the idea of that, except for the mozzies, but
Yeah, but if it's like really cold, they won't be there.
Yeah,
It's fine.
yeah, that's right.
Right? But yeah,
The moors of England.
that's right. I'll be a Pete Bog witch. Like that's fine. It's okay. But yeah, really steer yourself towards things that, grab your attention, grab your excitement is what I'm looking for. Like trying, I'm going to read this book because, someone said I had to, which is great. And it's nice to have other people's input, right? But you don't have to. It's okay.
If you get into chapter 2 and go, this isn't for me, it's okay to put it down too.
yeah.
Yeah.
Hello, Dylan Thompson.
Hey, Dylan.
Gorgeous man. Can I? It says, can I add us rarer male witches? Don't be afraid to be seen. We exist, but often refer or whatever. For me, that never fit. You learn to be the best. Sorry, let's keep scrolling down. You learn to be the best you by not fearing what? Oh, the version others have for you. Hey, ladies, that is so. That's brilliant because when you go back to the 70s, 80s, even beyond that, witches were female, wizards were male,
Or warlock.
Or warlocks. Oh, yeah, right.
You think
Thanks, Hollywood.
Yeah, thanks, Hollywood. So, but you think of what we grew up with, so like going back to Bewitched, or whatever his name was, I can't think of Uncle Arthur.
Lind. Uncle Arthur, yeah, Paul Lind.
Yeah, he was a warlock because
Yep.
he was. When she had a male child, they were worried he was going to be a warlock. So to me, wizards are different. I don't know. It's like that whole white, grey, black area. But I have recently spoken to a few male witches, and they all have the same issue: is like, I'm a witch.
Yeah, a witch is a witch, right?
Yep.
Simple. A witch is a witch. A witch is a witch. You can be male, female, non-binary. It does not matter. A witch is a witch. Simple.
Yeah, that's exactly. Thanks for that, Dylan. That's awesome. Okay, so we're 44 minutes in.
How many questions did we get through?
Okay. All right. So my next one was our thoughts on stereotypes of witches, which we've covered a lot of. But I did write down a couple of thinking about, how Hollywood has depicted the witch and things like that. And as I was thinking about all the different shows that, I've seen, but like The Wizard of Oz, remember the good witch, the bad witch?
Bad witch, yep.
Bewitched, The Craft, Even in Snow White, I mean, the Queen was the Wicked Witch.
Mm.
You know, Sabrina,
Practical magic.
practical. Yeah, isn't that being made again?
I'm
Yeah.
going to need that house. That's all I'm saying. I need that house. That's my house.
I know.
And then you've got Charmed, of course.
Yeah,
Well,
Harry Potter. Yeah, The Good Witch, Wednesday, Vampire Diaries, American Horror Story, The Addams Family, Buffy, all that sort of stuff. So, you know, Hollywood has really done a number on it.
but it makes for good fodder, right? Like, it does.
Dylan saying,
Oh, yeah.
waiting for pointy nose to arrive.
And the warts, Dylan, and the warts.
Yeah. Don't forget the warts. All right, so we're going to skip the stereotypes because we have. Okay. Well, we've sort of done about 4 or 5 questions all in the last bit. How has witchcraft helped or hindered your life? Kate?
Some people think you are absolutely off your rocker, right? And some people will have a preconceived notion of who you are.
Yep.
And that can hinder your progression in regular human life. And also, too, it can put you in, you can be in situations where you can be threatened being a witch. You can be in situations where you're, what's that word, proselytized to. You know, people will tell you are wrong in every channel they can possibly, right?
Yep.
That's more the annoying part of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The bestest part, I'm going to say bestest because I love that word. The bestest part for me is I get to be me, yeah?
Yeah.
I get to be me.
You
I get
do
to
you.
explore. I get to talk to spooks. I get to do my own spell works. I get to, you know, silly little things that make no sense to anyone else. I love, right?
Yep.
I get to create connections with people on their own path and watch them grow and see them change and all of that stuff. But I think it is my one constant. It has always been my one constant, and it steers me in my direction that I need to go. So I think that's my favourite thing.
Okay, what about you, Sal?
Nice. I always found finding my tribe a little harder because of my practice.
Yep.
Because I didn't want to be the weirdo, and yet I was anyway, you know. So finding people that accepted you for you is probably the most negative part of it for me. But when you do find that tribe, it's great.
It's amazing. Yeah.
To be able to share things and not have people say, "What the hell are you talking about?"
Yeah.
Or they look at you like that. Like, are you okay?
Is it catching? Are you okay? Do you need the padded room? Yeah. But the other thing that I find negatively, and maybe it's still just me, having a husband that works in a Catholic school, I find myself putting my pentagram away when I'm around them.
Okay, yeah.
And I'm not doing it because I'm ashamed of what I do. I don't want it to affect him at work.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I've just had to put on my phone on charge because it's about to die. You're one of my favourite weirdos, Sally.
That's got to be Dylan. Love you, mate.
For me, it was the hardest thing, the hindrance in my life has been other people's perception.
100%, yeah.
And throughout my life, not not wanting to be different, not wanting to stand out, not wanting to put a target on my back. That was in the younger years. And the other thing was, it was about fear. It was about fear of not being accepted. And that became very frustrating up until just recent years, because I was fearing the fact that I wasn't living my authentic self. And so that was the hindrance. But the benefits so much outweigh the disadvantages. You know, it's about personal growth. It's like Sal said, about finding your tribe, and it's not that. I mean, you girls are my tribe. It doesn't mean we have to be living in each other's pockets all the time. I mean, for anyone that doesn't know, Kate and I have not actually been in the same environment together. We have not been in the same room, and we know each other.
Oh, ages. We know each other now.
We have never physically been in the same room. We will be about a week and a half.
At some point. Yeah. Like I've written it, it's in the planner.
Yes, good. But that's what I mean, is that you don't need to be living in each other's pockets. It is all about, now I'm going to say a sisterhood. Dylan, don't get upset at me. But for the three of us, it is a sisterhood. And Dylan, you're one of my brothers, so don't stress. But it's about that personal growth. It's about finding your people. It's helped me understand witchcraft and my belief system, and my experience in that has helped me understand my connection to universe and to spirit, and connect with spirit guides, those that have crossed over. It's empowering. It's it feels like home. It feels natural. It's about living my authentic self, and it's, in a way, and I don't like to swear on these lives, but in a way, it's about saying, I don't care what you think of me. I know who I am. You might not like it. You might not understand it. You might fear it. And if you fear it and you don't understand it and you want some clarity, fine, perfectly, come to me. But if you want to stick me in a hole and point the finger at me, go for it, because that's on you. That's not on me. That's your issue, not mine. I know who the hell I am. I know what I believe in. I know what's worked for me for my life. And I have beautiful people around me that love and support me and guide me and help me and teach me and let me teach them. And then there's beautiful people in my life that don't understand any of it, but accept the fact that it's my way. So, but it is about, this is who I am.
Yep, absolutely.
A bit of Gen X in there. I'm just, there's a bit of Gen X in there. There's a bit of like,
So, so hang on. Because I've got my phone turned sideways, I'm not seeing messages. Okay, so Dylan, one of the things that makes me laugh is how many religious people, I know what you're going to say, you meet after saying witch a few times. So many people want to be besties. Yeah. You do get people that want to attach themselves to you because, and I remember me being the same way, is you see someone that is doing what you want to, or how they're living how you want to live, and you're in awe of them, you look up to them, so you want to soak in everything, their knowledge
By
and
osmosis, just absorb it.
And when I was younger and that would happen, I was like, oh God, get off. Now I embrace that because I have the ability. I'm learning from people that have, got more knowledge or more, not more skills, but you know what I mean?
Life experience.
Life experience and have are maybe deeper in the craft than what I am and have had more experiences. But I love the fact that I can now be that person to other people and help them find their path, help them on their journey. And to me, that is a part of my spiritual ethics of I'm able to connect with the universe. I'm able to connect with spirit. I have this, I don't like calling it a gift because a gift is something you give.
Ability.
Yeah, I have this ability, this natural ability. Why do I have it? I've questioned that so many times over my lifetime.
I think we all do though. Like
Yeah,
I'm pretty
totally.
sure that's fairly normal if you want to be normal about anything. Why did I get, hey, why have I got this? Why can I do that? How come I can do that? Like, it's amazing.
That is now connected to past life stuff for the soul that's here with me now. And that one of my jobs here in this lifetime on this plane is to help and to guide and to teach those that are coming up.
Yep.
You know?
Okay.
Even if I help one person, that person might go and help 100 people. Right?
That reminds me of a question for next time.
Oh,
Quantum theory. Quantum theory.
Oh my God, that makes my head explode.
I love it. Great.
Hang on.
But it just reminds me because the whole past life and all that stuff, like there's different point of views of that now. And maybe like we can, explore a little bit.
Yeah.
Karmic debt.
Flip my phone again. Hang on.
Pitch.
Oh, there we are.
I can comments, but the cord won't fit in. Look, guys, thank you very much. We are just about on the hour, and we decided we're only going to do an hour because three of us can talk all night, and we could be here for hours and hours.
Yep.
Thank you both. I'm so excited to be able to do this again. Last year was just a shit year for everybody. It was very chaotic, and we didn't get to do this. And it is hard with us all in 3 different locations with at least 5 hours between us all. So it's good. Thank you, technology. Thank you, internet, so we can do this stuff. We are each Wednesday, so on Capture the Magic and Australia's Capture Paranormal, each Wednesday we are putting up something witchy, something to do with witchy. It might be a live, it might be a post, it might be a video, anything like that. But the ladies and I are going to be back on the 11th of March doing exactly what we've done tonight with lots more content, lots more interesting topics. We had about eight different questions that we were going to hit. We've done about 4 of them.
Look, that's okay. That's good.
11 I thought we'd get through.
And Robin, hello, Robin. Thank you so much, witches. Robin, you're amazing. And yeah, so we're going to be back on the 11th of March, same time, same place, doing the same thing. So feel free, even if you're watching now and you haven't asked a question, pop it down in the comments. If you're watching after the actual live, please pop your questions in there because we just, even before we went live, girls and I came up with a few more. So we're just adding it to the book and we'll get to them all eventually. But we would prefer to your questions if you have them. Thank you all very much for joining in and your questions and your comments. Anything else, ladies, you'd like to say before we head off?
No. Have a good Lunar New Year, everybody.
Oh, yes. The year of the fire horse, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh. Finally.
And you have got any questions and you prefer not to publicly put them out, you can always message any of us. Girls, when we get off this live, can you jump on to the Capture the Paranormal? Sorry, let's start again. Capture
Australia Capture Parent. Oh, Capture the Magic. Yep.
And probably have to do both, and pop in your links so people can contact you. They might just not talk to me. They might want to ask you guys questions. So,
no, it's all about you. That's right.
You got us together.
It's your fault.
Yeah.
So links the post. So if anyone is interested, there might be some Melbourne people, there might be some people up north near Port that might want to get in contact. Both these beautiful ladies do readings. I know, Kate, you're doing readings at the moment. Sal, are you back doing readings yet? Not yet.
No.
Okay. All right. I'm currently doing readings because I'm struggling to even get out of bed in the mornings and sort out this house move. So, all right, again, thank you guys, and we will catch you on the 11th of March.
See you then.
Bye.
Bye.